So during that Corey Holcomb and Anton Daniels debacle, Corey said something like, "You're talking to me like a bitch, trying to tell me who I am." Right? Something like that. That wasn't verbatim what he said. But basically what Anton was doing was telling Corey why he does the things that he does, why he is the way that he is, right? And why Corey said you're talking to me like a bitch is is because that's how women deal with men. See, a part of what keeps women safe is our intuition, is our ability to recognize patterns, right? We don't have the brawn to keep us safe. So we have to use our mental. This is why our brain, the female brain, is superior in a lot of ways. It's for safety. That's what Mother Nature gifted us, right? And so when we start to recognize things, we speak on it. Men don't like that. And so this is where you will hear like women advise women to not mother men. A lot of times, mothering men is just speaking about behaviors that we don't like. Men don't like that. Men respect competence. I fully believe that. But men don't want to fuck competence. Men want to use competent women. Competent women are an asset to them. Competent women make good business partners, right? I've had men tell me that. To be with me is something they wouldn't want, but they would love for me to be a part of their business. Men would love to just sit and talk to me because they respect my competence. But men cannot fuck what they respect, right? The Madonna whore complex. So when I hear people have been in long-term relationships, that signifies a couple of things for me. That the woman is either dumb, or she plays dumb, or he's benefiting her in some way, so she's playing along. It is damn near impossible to be with a man and self actualize. Because eventually, your competence, your ability to recognize patterns, your ability to dissect him, your ability to see him, your allure wears off. Men like dumb women. And even if they're not dumb, they have to turn a blind eye to how women are. Men are. Men don't come to women to build anything. They come to you because you are a part of their ultimate goal. This is why a man could get married and have a kid and you would know nothing about it. I've known plenty of men that had children and I didn't find out till the kid was like 2, right? Being married to women, being with women, building a life with women is a part of their ultimate goal. That is a part of their purpose. It's not eventful the way that it is for women. Men go along with the eventfulness of it, but for them, it's just a part of their life. This is why they could get married and still be in relationship with another woman, right? It's just a part of what they have to do as men biologically. They have to reproduce and they have to be with women. Men need women. They don't need you. So any woman will do, right? A man could be with you forever and then leave and then go marry someone else because it's not you that they need. They just need access to a woman. I spoke about this, right? There are 3 women who know ball when it comes to men. That's beautiful women, sex workers, and women who work in male dominated environments. Wives don't know men, they may know their husbands. Women with brothers don't know men. I have a lot of brothers, but I really didn't understand men until I started getting in the world. You won't really understand behaviors, male nature, until you get around men who have no attachment to you. That's when you really start seeing who they are. I see who women's husbands truly are. I'm in proximity to men a lot. and I'm attractive, right? So there are things that I see because I'm around them and I'm able to recognize things. Men and women love a fairy tale. Both men and women want to escape the realities of life through each other. Women don't want the responsibilities of adulthood, so they go find men. They want men to put them in their soft era, right? They want to leave their brains at home. A lot of women go to men because the realities of life is too harsh to deal with. They rather just deal with whatever comes with being with a man as opposed to dealing with life. Men go to women because they want to be the hero. When you start seeing the humanness in men, your allure wears off. This is why men get bored with their wives eventually. Because their wives start to see them for who they are. Now, they don't see men, they see their man. This is why women, when they end a relationship, they go look for another one right away. They're right on the dating apps. They're right trying to, find a man because to them, that man was like that. And maybe they'll find the exception. When the reality is, it's all men until they prove otherwise. And you almost never going to find an exception. All men may not do all of the same things, but they all are men with male nature. Men come to you to escape life. They come to you to be heroes. They come to you to save you. This is why men love dumb women around, because they can do something for them. And the more dumb you are, the more you need them, the more they like you, they want you around. Again, men respect competence. I believe that. I know that for a fact. They just don't want to fuck it. They want to fuck dumb and use the competence. This is why I say men like the idea of me, right? All men approach us just for sex. They approach you because they want to fuck you, not because you're smart or brilliant or they want you to raise their children or want to marry you. Men end up in those situations. They end up in relationships with us. They end up in marriages with us. They pursue us to experience us, right? And so men like the idea of what they think they're going to experience with me because I have sex appeal, right? I dress sexy, right? I keep myself up. I don't look like the typical middle-aged woman, in the workplace or roaming the world. So to them, they may get a fantasy from me, right? And usually they approach me to use me and discard me because I don't look like wifey material. I'm not somebody they are pursuing to have long-term relationships with. They're pursuing me to sleep with me a couple of times and discard me, right? And so eventually, right, they'll get to know me because I'm not going to play dumb for men. And they'll see the value in me because I'm very valuable, right? But they won't want to like invest in a relationship with me because it's too much. I'm a mirror to people. People don't they and they don't want to be bare. Just like women don't. Right? Women would rather me talk about makeup and how to get men and how to be sexy and how to be a femme fatale, all the things that they think I am, they would rather that as opposed to like hearing about themselves, hearing about women, hearing that you ain't going to be able to self-actualize and marry a man. You're going to have to choose. And so this is how I know a lot of you don't want to self-actualize. You want men because all you ultimately you want to marry a man. You're never going to self-actualize and be with a man. A man's ego is not going to allow that. Unless you're okay with him dealing with other women. Unless, you're going to have some type of open relationship where he don't have to deal with you all the time. Right? Y'all really don't understand men. You really don't get it. Men are not what you think they are. And when you start to see that, when the veil is being lifted, and men know the veil is being lifted, they don't want to deal with you because you see them for who they are. Men don't want to be human. So when men listen to my content, their initial response is, she doesn't have a man. They all assume I don't have a man because to recognize these things in men and to speak out about it, they know that they wouldn't want to be with a woman that does that. They wouldn't want to be with a woman who can recognize their behaviors. So, in order to do that, that must mean I hate men and I don't have one. When I don't say I hate men, I don't say men ain't shit. I don't speak ill of men. The only thing I speak about is their nature and their patterns of behavior. So that shows you that they don't want to, they wouldn't want to deal with somebody like me, or they can't understand how a man would deal with somebody like me. This is why a man will never like platform me. I'm not in proximity to men that would parade me around. I'm around average and below men. So they're going to choose average and below women. They're not going to choose someone like me. I would have to put myself in proximity to men with a higher tax bracket. Right? And they're not going to platform me because what I talk about, it's like I'm challenging their manhood when I'm not. Right? I'm just talking about male nature and male behavior, and women have to recognize it so that women can protect themselves. But they don't want you to protect yourself. They want to protect you. There are trade-offs for everything, right? When you choose self-actualization, you're trading that for the comfort of a relationship. You're not going to be able to have both. Listen to women who are in marriages with men, right? In a spiritual binding. They don't talk like me. You're almost never going to hear a woman in a relationship with a man talk about male nature and male behavior because they're going to make their man insecure. He's going to start wondering, well, is she talking about me? Or does she hate me? See, men may not consciously know that they are showing me what I'm saying is correct about them, right? So when they think like I'm a misandrist, well, I think misandry is a waste of time. Hating men is a waste of time, right? When you start to understand male nature, you become indifferent to men. This is why eventually women who master themselves don't even want to be in relationship with men, right? So misandry is really like, it's like a phase women go through. It doesn't serve a benefit. I don't have to hate men. So they don't see that they are proving me correct with what I'm saying, right? All of what I teach women is just human nature. But to know male nature and to accept it and to talk about it is to hate them. Now, men will befriend me. Men will want to talk to me, right? Men will want to pick my brain, but they don't want to be with somebody like me. It's too much. It's too much to deal with. It's men have a lot to deal with in the world. They don't want to come home to a mirror. So I've accepted that even if I deal with a man, he will always have to ground himself in with the average woman. He will always have to keep a woman around that's not as aware as me. And that's most women. Right? My intellect is beyond. And nobody can tell me different. Right? So men will always keep like airheads around, you know, women who are too afraid to speak about their behaviors, like women that are trained, right? There will always be those kind of women around, right? Because again, I'm a benefit to keep around. I'm a value. I'm valuable. I'm an asset, right? I'm useful. I take pride in these things because being those things helps me to develop connections with people. It helps me further my purpose. It helps me to build my legacy. So I'm not being useless to men. They just can't use my body, right? But I'm absolutely useful and valuable and an asset and benefit to wherever I am and whomever I'm around, of course, right? But that's where men draw the line. Men don't, they get turned on by me physically, but they get turned off when they start to hear and see that I'm aware of who and what they are. Men have a superiority complex. When you start to show them that they're not who they think they are, or they're not getting away with it the way they usually get away with shit with women. See, men can be the hero around the average woman. Women look at men as like gods. I don't. That's a ego blow to men. Even the most self-actualized men need that ego stroke of a dumb, unaware woman, right? And so when they see that I'm competent, the respect starts to come. And when the respect starts to come, they don't want to come. But I'm down. Now, this is not for me to change the minds of women. Many of you have to be with men. I mean, that's really your best bet because to really understand men, to be around men in proximity to them, to compete in the world against them as a self actualized woman, as a peer, that's rough. If women could be a fly on the wall, the way men allow y'all to be delusional. I listen to men lie to women all the time about their looks, about their personalities, about their cooking. I watch men take things from women and throw it in the garbage. And they won't tell you because they don't want to hurt your feelings. Like, men are treacherous. And just like when they start to see that I see them, they get turned off from me or indifferent to me. It's the same way women start to become indifferent to men. And I don't mean developing a hatred. Like, a lot of you develop hatred to men. That's something you got to deal with. I don't hate men. I think men are pretty dope. I respect how men move in this world. For a man to assume power, I respect that shit because that's not easy for them to do. Men are always trying to dominate each other. That's not easy. Violence and all of the things that can happen amongst men, I respect it. But I'm cool on the fairy tale. I never really believed in it. Like, I got married because that's what my ex-husband wanted to do. I never gave a fuck about that. Like, I never dreamed about, you know, responsibility of motherhood. And that's why in my second relationship, I didn't even care to be married. A lot of the shit that women want, I never really cared about. But the more that I discover about men, the more indifferent I become. And it really doesn't matter. I mean, I can entertain a gentleman caller, right? And he can have me exclusively because men are not that important where I need to keep them around, right? If a man is in my life, then the rest aren't. That's just how I operate because I preserve my life force. Men are not that important to me to keep them around. Like, I don't, the way y'all like to date a bunch of men and be around a bunch of men, that does nothing for me. So it's not like I wouldn't want to, but the expectations or believing that as attractive as I am, as intelligent as I am not the exception. I'm just another woman to men. And because I am exceptional, I am an exceptional woman, a man will try to humble me in many ways. A man would not want to like spoil me, take me out, do things that a woman would love to do, right? Now, I'm indifferent to men, but I'm still a woman, and there are things that I would still like. Like, I'm not going to say, no, I don't ever want to go out on a date with somebody I like. Like, I'm not saying that. But I do understand that men don't have the capacity to humble themselves. In order for a man to truly be in relationship with me, he would have to humble himself. The reflection that I show is too much of an ego blow to men. And I'm already at a certain age where my peers, men, right, of my age and older, they're too old to change. They're too old to humble themselves, right? They're just going to continue to live life how they've been living it, especially if they're successful. There's no reason for them to, really go within and understand themselves and understand what I'm saying and change, right? So they're going to try to make me feel like something is wrong with me, right? And so I most likely will die alone. I most likely will not have a husband because I'm only going to ascend higher. And to deal with a man, that's going to be rough for him. See, I know how to allow a man to be a man. I know how to ego stroke. I know how to do all these things, but the mirror outweighs all of that. Men cannot deal with that mirror, just like women. So I don't listen to women. Women. I don't listen to men talk shit about women because they're no fucking different. They're no different. It's just that their antics are a little different. Their antics are different, but the way they respond to me is the same way women respond to me. It's the same shit. The way men and women respond to each other they're all the fucking same. Even the most self-actualized man. Ego is a motherfucker. The male ego, you ain't beating that. So, in order to self-actualize, you got to choose. You can't have both. It's not going to happen for you unless it's purely transactional. There is no defeating the male ego. So for a woman to survive in a long-term relationship with a man, either she has to be dumb, she has to play dumb, or it has to be beneficial to her. Or he has to allow her to run the show in some way. Not too much. Give her little tasks to do. She, keeps the money. The traditional things women do. If she can be pacified with that, then she will be fine. You're not going to, the male ego is not going to allow you to ascend. He's not going to be attracted to you in the ways that he's attracted to a dumb woman or unaware woman or a woman who plays dumb. Right? And so I understood these things. And this is one of the reasons why I don't believe men and women can be friends. And that's a rarity for a man and woman to really be friends. Do basically from just the basic sexual attraction. That's almost like I'm attractive. Men are not trying to be my friends, right? That's very rare. And this is why when I say if a relationship ends between me and a man, there's no more connection. There's nothing. Like I have no connections to my ex-husband at all. My ex-boyfriend has passed away, but when we broke up, that was it. There's no texting. There's nothing. We can't go from courting, sleeping together, being in a relationship to friends because a man is never going to fully accept me as a whole person because they've slept with me, right? Men, once a man sleeps with you, that's it. There's no going back. You did it already, right? You did it. You sucked dick. You did all that already. So that's how they view you. And I really can't, like, men are dismissive. Then they don't really want to hear about other men. Right? The way I dissect men, I can't talk to men like that. I can't talk to men about men like that. They don't really want to hear that unless it doesn't have anything to do with them, unless it's a behavior that they don't perform. Right? So there's a lot of reasons why men and women cannot be friends. Like, we're here to sleep with each other and populate the earth. That's it. It's very rare for man and woman to be friends. Very, very rare. Not impossible, but almost impossible. So there's a lot that goes on with between men and women, within men, within women, that the fairy tale, the fantasy that both men and women want to live, it's never going to happen. Either one or both of the people have to severely dumb themselves down. So either the woman has to dominate and he allows her to, or she has to be an idiot. Or she's completely benefiting. It's worth her time and investment fully, which I don't see how the average man is doing that. The average man really can't change a woman's life, so I don't really know how women are really benefiting from being with average men, just outside of them just having a man and, well, at least I got a man type of thing, right? But yeah, this is really deep, and a lot of you don't want to hear this because you actually want to be with men, which I'm not saying you can't. I'm saying you are going to be limited.